Hi, hello, hello. Thank you for being with us today. Today we have an
Hello.
exciting guest, Stephanie.
Hello.
Stephanie Reniers. So Stephanie is in Brussels right now, but she's based in Dubai. She has a very interesting HR tech company called the Gentis. We're going to talk about it in a minute. And she was kind enough to spend 30 minutes with us today to tell us more about her journey, the company. She moved to Dubai recently and explaining us more about what she learned being a tech entrepreneur. So thank you again, Stephanie, for being here.
Yes, you're very welcome, and thank you for inviting me.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
that's great. So let's dig in right away. So you founded Gentis. Tell us more first about the organization. What problem were you trying to solve? Just so people understand what Gentis is.
Yeah. So yes, I'm an entrepreneur, originally a recruitment consultant. So I have been recruiting for over 17 years now, and I'm also a co-founder of Gentis and Wiggli, which I'm going to explain in a moment. So Gentis originally is a recruitment agency specialized in the STEM market. Everything related to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So for the ones who don't know what it is, it's more like IT, finance, engineering, and construction. Also, mom of 3 kids, which definitely taught me how to handle emergencies, even during meetings. So I started my career big corporation, and it was a very good school. I learned all about recruitment. And in 2011, I co-founded Gentis with 3 friends, also working with me on a simple mission to change the way we hire,
Mm-hmm.
uh, making it more human, more honest, more impactful. Fast forward today, Gentis is now a team representing a team of more than 500 people across Europe and the Middle East, and also Canada. We have an office since 3 years in Montreal. We've built not just a company, but a culture, one that values ambition, trust, but also real connection. Very passionate about diversity, unconventional career path,
Mm-hmm.
building diverse teams, and basically creating spaces where people can grow into who they're meant to be.
Yeah,
And yes,
and
tell me.
Gentis has a very different approach to recruitment, and I think you were looking at it to solve a problem we see on the market. Do you want to explain a bit more how you approach recruitment? What's your
Yeah, so
secret sauce?
we have different secret sources, but I first need to go a little bit backwards in the past. So originally, what we learned about recruitment was to be matchmakers. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, sending a resume to a client, then the client would approve the resume. He would like to interview that person, and then we are making a placement. And I thought in the beginning that we were missing the human touch, which means really meeting the client, meeting the candidate, and understanding each other's needs to make sure that we were making the real match. Because something that
Mm-hmm.
I'm deeply convinced of is the cultural fit.
Yeah.
We see that many people are leaving companies not because of functions or job titles, but more because of bad leadership, or because they were not aligned with the
Mm-hmm.
culture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And us as recruiters, we need to understand the culture of the company, and we need to understand what kind of culture fits this or that candidate. So typically when we started in 2011, the pain point we wanted to fix was to make more human connections and to really understand what candidates were looking for, and also what companies were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
As
Mm-hmm.
a few years later, We started, so it was already in 2015, so 10 years ago. We started to think a little bit deeper about the future of recruitment.
Yeah.
Because at some point, of course, we started to see some platform emerging, some apps
Yeah.
also emerging, and we were wondering what would become the future of a recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Wiggli was born. Wiggli is really the HR tech tool of Gentis.
Got you.
That's
Okay.
why I want to make it clear that Gentis is using, of course, this tech,
Got you.
but Wiggli is really the HR tech tool. Let's say we deployed, and with a very we started with a very basic solution 10 years ago, where we wanted to make a match digitally between
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
candidates and companies, in order also to let the recruiter focus on what is the most important in his role, which means the human side.
Yeah.
We also found out over the past years that administration paperwork was taking more and more time
Mm-hmm.
within the recruitment consultant's life. You have to adapt resumes, you have to track everything in the CRM, you have to plan the interviews,
Yeah.
schedule them between the client, the candidates. And this was taking too much time in a recruiter's life, because
Mm.
what we are aiming to do is to really understand the connection, understand the client's needs, the candidates, and having an impact. But having less and less time due to
Yeah.
paperwork and due to administration, we were not, and we are not doing our job properly anymore. And that's where Wiggli is fixing all of that, because it's making every recruiter's life way simple, way easier.
Mm-hmm.
And we stop wasting our time in paperwork, and we start focusing on the human.
Very interesting. So, is Wiggly used only at Gentis, or are you also white labeling it to actually your competitors almost?
Wiggli is available for everyone.
Okay.
Wiggli can be used by everyone. It's completely adaptable, and it's also it's no, it can be everyone can buy it.
Okay. And so you've been, in the space, as you mentioned, 17 years. I'm just curious, what have you seen? Have you seen changes in the way candidates behave, in the way employers behave, or do you see pretty much always the same thing? If it's a big organization, they tend to always behave in the same way, or have you seen a lot of specificity?
We've seen a big evolution, and what brought us here won't get us there. As an example, when I started in recruitment, my manager was sending the resumes. When he started in recruitment, he was sending the resumes by fax or by post. So you think it's like a century ago, but no,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
only 20 years ago.
yeah,
People were not sending emails. They were
yeah.
sending resumes by post or by fax. And when I started myself in recruitment, LinkedIn didn't exist. And
Mm.
when I'm talking to my juniors in my teams, they are always surprised that there was actually a life before
Yeah.
LinkedIn. That recruitment was actually already existing before LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Uh, and this is a very good example to illustrate that very quickly, in only 20 years, so many things changed.
Yeah.
The way we recruit, the way we're doing, also, now the online interviews like we are doing now.
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
in the history, it's really recent.
Yeah, yeah.
We are also asking more and more the candidate to make video resumes.
Interesting.
This is also something really new. So we see that the evolution is going really fast. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Things are changing, evolving also really fast. And also the workplace going from typically 100% office presence to hybrid
Yeah.
to home working. So this is going really, really faster than us.
Okay, that's very interesting because I'm not familiar with the industry, to be totally honest with you. So from outside, more as a candidate, or sometimes when I had to hire people, I never really thought about these subtleties. But so one question I have for you is something I was playing with. So you started 15, 17 years ago. You are a co-founder of a very successful company. How did your identity change? Because it's a bit challenging to go from, I found, a bit challenging to go from I'm a recruiter in a large organization. Now I'm a startup entrepreneur. And now I am the CEO and the co-founder of a massive global organization. How did you align with all these changes? What came first, the success or your mindset?
I would say it's a very, very good question. I would say the mindset.
Okay.
My co-founders, my partners, they hate when I say that, but I love this quote: "Fake it until you make it."
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because very, very soon within Gentis, almost since its creation, we always build the company like if there were 1,000 people in the company.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is that very quickly we had a finance department, an admin department, marketing, sales team, and also the whole learning and development program with very strong leadership programs, very strong trainings. And the mindset really came first.
Mm-hmm.
And still today, I don't think I realize, the whole journey and
Yeah.
everything we've been through. But I would say definitely the mindset came first.
Okay, that's very interesting because that's always something I'm struggling with, identity, success, what comes first. So for you, there is absolutely no doubt in your mind that you were already thinking as if you were the co-founder and the CEO of a large global organization. Super,
Yeah.
super interesting. One question I have, you mentioned you co-founded with three of your friends. I believe one of these friends is your husband. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes.
it's my
So, how was it to build a company with your husband? Because that must be something, I mean, any entrepreneurs know that it's very challenging to start a business and to be successful. Anyone who's married know it's very difficult to be married and have a successful relationship. Now you're a successful entrepreneur, you have three kids, a successful marriage, I assume. How did you manage that?
Well, I think the good thing is that we've been working together before Gentis. We've been working together for 4 years within the big corporation, and we were friends. So we were not married, we were not together, and but we were really, like a bromance, best friends in workplace, and we've always worked together. We've never known each other outside of work, let's
Okay.
say. So we were used to work together. And I think that, we've also, as a couple, but also as co-founders, we've made so many sacrifices that I think it's been a big added value that we were together on the same boat,
Mhm. Mhm.
understanding each other's challenges.
Yeah.
1 year when we set up the Dubai office in 2022, so 3 years ago, my husband spent 6 months in Dubai in total on one
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah.
6 out of 12 months he was there. I think if I wouldn't be working with him, I wouldn't have understood,
Mhm.
and I would
Mhm.
have been way more strict, or I
Yeah.
would have been, I don't know, more
Less
more
less
difficult,
understanding, maybe,
less understanding.
yeah.
But there, I knew his agenda, I knew what he was doing, and I also knew that he was doing that for us, for Gentis.
Mhm.
So it makes also our life way easier to be together on the same boat and understand each other,
That's very
which has been a
interesting.
struggle for the other wives of my other co-founders.
I can
Uh,
imagine.
have been less understanding because they don't, well, they were not on the same boat, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so obviously, so you have three children. Which age are your children?
So they are 6, 10, and 12 years old.
6, 10, 12. Okay, so they've always known you as entrepreneur, as dad and mom, working and
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
being
Indeed.
co-founders. So it's a good segue to Dubai. So you moved recently to Dubai, the entire family, obviously, and so what motivated this transition, and what does this new life represent for you? Tell us more about that change, which is a big change.
Well, so like I said, the first year, my husband spent, well, the first year of the opening of the office, my husband spent 6 months out of 12 there. So very quickly, we started to analyze what would be the future of our family. Shall we stay in Europe and keep on traveling, or shall we move to Dubai? And I must say, on a private level, I was also having, let's say, I was not aligned with the education system in Belgium anymore. And my oldest daughter was going to start in college. So we were at the cornerstone where we started to think, okay, it's now or never. If we want to move somewhere, whether it's the US or Canada, Dubai, wherever it is, it's now or never. So where does it make more sense for us to move? And as we were expanding in the Middle East, very, very quickly, we started to think about Dubai. So that's the number one reason we moved, is really education system. And we've not been disappointed, I must say. I really found what I was looking for in terms of system. And next to that, of course, we are developing now our office. When we arrived 1 year ago, we were just with the three of us, 3 people there. Today we are with 17 people, and we are keeping on expanding. So very, very happy about that, and no regret about our decision.
Yeah, and I think the children as well really enjoy their life over there. Huh? So sometimes a bit more adjustment for one versus the other, but globally everyone's very happy.
Indeed, everyone is very happy. It took some time for the oldest, but for the rest, it's going really great.
You know, it's very interesting that you really talk about the lifestyle, because many people think you move to Dubai because there is no taxes. And I find it very interesting because, to your point, I've been there in the past, and I really enjoyed as well the life over there. I don't have children, but you're not the first person who's telling me the education system is top notch. What is very interesting is that in North America, people don't really look at the Emirates as a place that is viable for a family, while actually you did exactly the other way around almost. Of course, it needed to make sense for the business, but it was also a decision driven by the family, by the education. That's rare I hear that, actually.
I think that the US in general are not looking anywhere else than in the US.
Absolutely.
So no, of course they don't look in the Emirates. Now there is a community of American people, Canadian and American, and when you hear them, the American system is quite similar to, let's say, the Middle East system in terms of education, also in terms of, the American dream, let's say.
Yeah, that's true.
This opportunist vision that you can build everything you want and you can become everyone you want. This is what also I love about this region. And the no taxes, this is something, but most people who move to Dubai are also very surprised about the cost of living, which is also very high. So somehow you're still paying taxes. So the people staying in Dubai, most of them, if not all of them, are not specifically staying for tax reasons, but are also staying for the safety, for education, for also, the kids. It's a kids' paradise over there. Everything is made to make you feel good and safe and secure, and that is a very good thing about this region.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, I think coming from Europe like you, I was probably a bit closer to understanding the Middle East. In North America, when you speak about Middle East, people first they're very confused with, they think Dubai is they don't really know where it is on the map, like, so so it's interesting to see the confusion. one question I had for you was, of course, it's been 15 years that you've been, on that journey with Gentis. What are some of the lessons you learned? What are the things that you would say these are the one, two, three things that were probably the most important things I learned during that journey?
I learned a lot of things. I think that at some point I'll write a book about everything I learned and I saw in this company. But one of the big lesson I learned, and I'm still learning it in 25, especially. It's a big lesson I'm learning at the moment. It's that people are everything, and you can have the best strategy, you can be the best in tech or in your market, but if you don't have the right people around you,
Mm,
people who care, people who challenge you, people who grow with you, it won't last.
yeah,
um, I also learned that as a founder, you need to be very agile. Since the beginning, my job changed every 6 months.
yeah.
I did marketing, I did finance, I did admin, I did HR, I did sales. I managed very small teams, I managed very big teams. And every 6 months, I have new challenges and I'm facing new things. So you also need to be very, very agile.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because what worked with a team of 10 people doesn't work with a team of 100 and won't work with a team of 1,000.
Mm.
So letting go to grow, that's also been one of the hardest, but the most powerful shifts.
Hmm. So do you think your background in HR actually helped you become a very successful CEO, even if you had been, for example, the CEO of a, whatever, a finance tech company or something like that? Do you think that has helped you? It seems like because you're really focusing so much on people, which I believe, like you, it's the cornerstone of a successful business. You had you were a bit ahead of the game compared to other people who might not have been as people focused.
The one thing that I did and really helped me is a coach certification.
Ah.
Because I did a master in HR, but it was very much focused on hard HR, social law,
Yes, yes, yes,
your
yes.
rights, your responsibilities. And actually, I was quite surprised because in this master in HR, you don't have that much about soft skills, people management, or even
Yeah.
recruitment. And so besides that, I started a coach certification in order to understand how to coach people within my company. Uh,
Ah.
and this helped me a lot to understand how people were behaving, how to communicate, how to dealing with conflicts, also how to manage with different personalities.
Mm.
Say that on a people management level, my coach certification is definitely what helped me the most.
Super interesting. You know what? Because I think that's probably where the gap is very often. And you know that you see people who are promoted because they're great at their job. And
Indeed,
and sometimes it's just a technical job, which I'm not saying is bad. I was in finance, that's my thing. Doesn't mean you understand anything about people management. And so that is super, super interesting. Last question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Stephen.
no, no. I was just saying, that's often what people think, that take the very good, the best performers, no matter the function, will be very good people managers. And the first thing you need to learn is that when you start managing people, no matter how many years experience you have on the technical side, when you start managing people, you become a junior again, because
Mm-hmm.
you are a junior in your function, and you need to accept that you will need to learn, and that you will need to start managing people and having different trainings around that. But you need to accept the fact that you are junior in your function, and that's sometimes very difficult for top performers in companies, no matter
Yeah.
the department.
Well, and very often there is no training. You're promoted and there is absolutely no training. It's as if, okay, you're supposed to get, to get that from wherever, osmosis, to know how to manage people.
Indeed.
Yeah. So what is next for you? What is next for Gentis?
Well, keep on scaling, but always with purpose, having an impact. We are strengthening our presence in the Middle East, also in North America, in Canada, and currently exploring new markets. But beyond the growth, I would say that we are also focusing on keeping on our culture,
Yeah.
keeping our DNA intact, while building future leaders inside the company. And on a personal side, always trying to explore new ways to inspire and empower through content. And yes, through podcasts like yours.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you so much for taking the time. So if
Thank you.
an employer is listening or reading the newsletter, how can they reach out to you and the company? I guess your website, what's the best way to work with you?
Yes, gentis.com is our website. We also have, different offices in different countries. And all our offices, all the contact details are on our webpage. So
And what is the best profile in terms of the ideal company for you if they're listening and they're like,
we don't have ideal profiles. We are really open to everyone. Like I said, we also like unconventional people, so we can have an impact with startup scale-ups. But we also have a lot of clients who are multinational companies, banks, insurance.
okay.
So we are definitely not close to anyone. We are. We don't have an ideal profile.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for your time. It was very insightful, really a lot of great nuggets. And thank you for taking the time. I know you're traveling and it's very nice of you to share your insights with everyone.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. Talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.